Hey guys, we're the 732 review crew. I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Mikey.
Today we were watching season 5, episode 6 of The Expanse, titled Tribes.
Woo! Now, what does that refer to?
It could be anything. It could be a reference to the factions of the OPA, perhaps, because we know Drummer is headed to a meeting with Marco.
Yeah, she is, to find out what's going on.
It could be all the different camps that are separated right now, because you have the Amos tribe, you got the Naomi solo tribe.
Yeah, it could be,
Holden tribe.
or it could even just be all of the different nations. Now, you know, it's like, what tribe are you with?
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Now, I'm curious to see what happens, because right now we have Holden very aware that Naomi's held prisoner, as well as Fred Johnson's current right-hand man, that the guy who's working on Tycho with him, is out for blood. He wants revenge as an Earther, and not just an Earther, but as a friend of Fred Johnson.
Absolutely.
But as of right now, we have no ship, so we have to see if they could fix the ship, because we had the code uploaded into the ship.
Amos is now probably trying to get a fugitive off of the planet.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alex and Bobbie dumped the core and are now. Do they have any?
So they're now currently adrift.
But technically, wouldn't they just keep going as fast as they were because of inertia?
Well, the only thing they have going for them is that it seemed like Alex dumped it very close.
So they think they died.
Hopefully.
And it'll remove their drive signature potentially, because it's not.
They have no drive signature.
They don't have a drive.
Dump the drive.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm curious to see what happens and what's going on with these episodes, and see if some of our predictions, do come true. There's only one way for us to find out, and that's to watch this episode. Now, if you made it this far through us with The Expanse, we do appreciate you all so much, the community of The Expanse, and anybody new here, thank you so much. Let us know in your comments below, your favorite part of the episode. Otherwise, make sure you do like and subscribe. And, we're going to jump in this episode shortly. But also check out our Discord, where we do talk about The Expanse, and you can tell us some of your favorite theories. And Joe started the episode.
Chaos.
Madam Avesarella, please forgive the intrusion. I'm David Pastor.
We have met. You're Minister of the Interior?
Transportation, actually.
Oh.
He's now in charge.
I'm the new acting secretary.
Oh, he is.
Sir.
No, please don't get up. Oh.
He's not used to being. Yeah.
He's gonna tap her.
On my planet, I'm embarrassed to say.
You'll get the hang of it soon enough.
I was at the seawall near the UN with a 6th grade field trip when the second rock hit.
Yikes.
My daughter and her children are fine.
Okay.
Your husband teaches at Columbia, doesn't he? Have you heard from him?
Fuck, dude.
I will pull whatever strings I can to help locate him.
I appreciate that.
They're ready for you in the sit room, sir.
Thank you.
Take your shot.
I spent my career designing package delivery systems. The only reason I got into Parliament is because I thought the person running the local transit authority was an idiot, and I thought I could do a much better job. We were only able to beat back the attack because of you.
She's getting
I'd
tapped.
like you to join my provisional cabinet.
Be the unofficial head of the government.
She's back as number 3.
I'll be with you in a moment, Secretary General.
I think she does best when she's not directly in the spotlight.
I kind of feel like that too, because then she gets to do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
She just needs a bumbling idiot to be her spokesperson. Which, speaking of drone delivery services, that guy built.
Yeah, I don't think she's going in the DNA tent.
This is probably Amos and.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want to go back to prison.
Oh, there's no prison to go back to. They'll probably just shoot you.
I don't want that either.
We could cut through the conservancy zone.
Feels like The Last of Us now.
Less likely to bump into people we don't want to bump into.
Thinking a camping episode?
They have to fix the drive.
Is it upside down?
It looks like it.
I think that's why it looks different to me.
I'm surprised he's still able to trust everybody around him, honestly.
I don't think he does.
So, where should I stow this?
No fucking way.
This is a military operation.
The only reason you have a shot at catching the Zemia is because of me, and I have a story to write.
Too bad.
So if you want me off this ship, you're gonna have to drag me.
You got it.
No, look, I've already been kidnapped. For all we know, there could be more Naro Scoons running around on Tycho.
This is our new crew for the season.
When we find it, it's where it's gonna get a little rough. You ever been in hygiene maneuvers before?
Mm-hmm. On this ship.
Yeah, she
When
has.
we were the first people to go through the ring and survive.
She's like, fuck you.
Well, the way that it cut to James looking at her, he's like, you have been along for a lot of wacky adventures.
And he's like, you know what? She wasn't the hacker too that one time. That was the other guy.
They need to go pick up Prax.
It's the Prax wall.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
We get a message from. How'd she do it?
If something goes wrong, it said.
Oh.
Oh, she had it auto send from the ship.
Oh, I've seen that before. That's dope.
That's a sick fucking artwork.
Saw that one.
Uh-oh.
They're being boarded.
Are they being boarded?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Bobbie!
Did Bobbie did buy a suit. Did Bobbie bring her suit?
She doesn't need it.
No, but it would be really helpful right now.
No. She
Yeah, it would be.
doesn't need it. Yes, Bobbie! Suit.
I like how she's like, let me open this fucking door.
Ain't seen a suit?
Alex is just.
You got a power suit too?
No, he's just jumping.
Oh. But she's like, fuck. That guy's like, fuck no, please, let me in. Oh. This is like Spider-Man.
Grenade is set.
Grenade?
You're gonna blow up the motor. Oh no, it's ripping her joints out.
I'm coming.
Woo.
Uh-oh.
Just trust it. Rotation. Yep. Ooh. Nice.
Get your ass inside now!
It's like the first spacewalk he's done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not normally the one who does it.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, pin down. Ooh. Oh, the missiles blew up and then wow!
We did it! Suck on that, motherfuckers!
Those
The Martians! The Martians did it!
Yeah, I like the Yeehaw.
Yeah,
Look at how big their
yeah, it got bigger.
Symbol of inner belt unity destroyed along with half of Tycho. The Rocinante is underway in pursuit of the Zemea. Space her.
See, even the old guy's like, hold up.
What?
You heard me. You will do what I tell you to.
Doing yourself!
He's gonna kill him.
Done. You can do it. I'm not gonna let Philip be part of this.
He is also a day one.
Philip, the choice was yours to make. What would it be? I asked you.
Spare her life.
Yes. No hesitation.
Please. I have more important things to do.
I don't think things are going well for that guy now.
See, I told you the old guy still liked her.
But Belters are like that, though. You know, they're able to speak up. It's not necessarily like he's gonna kill him for it.
If you do want it done, next time ask me.
She's like, I've hated that bitch since day one.
Well, she seems fiercely loyal, you know.
I thought you were going to come too close.
Me too.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well?
I think Phil's mad at Margot right now.
Yeah.
May not like Naomi, but don't kill her.
You deserve to die for what you did. You think that's funny?
No, but I can tell my people are alright. You ended millions of ordinary lives. You haven't felt the price of it yet, but someday you will. I know he wouldn't die for you, but he would let you die for him.
Damn. Back to back great phrases. Yeah, damn right. He needed that shit. He's like, fuck.
I just thought of something.
Dude, Naomi's like really coming to bat these past couple
Well,
episodes.
but I mean, she's backed into a corner. She's got nothing to lose at this point. I mean,
Yeah, just like trees.
yeah, I mean, hey,
That's such a dad thing.
There's no rich person can do in the future. Well, you can't really have.
that is such a dad thing. Like, good tree. Like that tree.
Remember the tree in her backyard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's parent.
Who?
We're gonna get a lesson from her about Schrodinger.
A parent you never hear from exists in a quantum state. Both dead and alive until you check up on them in the act of observing. Makes one of the two states true.
I might have a dad somewhere I never met.
Do you want to?
Nope.
Then does he actually exist at all?
Nope.
There are ways that you can live a good life without being a good person.
So why do you think Amos is doing this?
She's weak and she's hurt and she's.
But do you think he's doing what maybe Naomi did for him, or does he like her?
Well, I mean, he said that they were alike,
They're the same person.
so he might just
Like her.
finally find someone he can relate to.
I mean, hey, he liked the yellowest girl too. Till he shot her.
I love that he's literally wearing like a cloak.
Almost all
Flag.
of
A flag.
history.
Fire. Friend or foe?
I don't have anything worth taking. Come take a look if you want. Just
What about
leave me
fire?
be. You feeling all right, miss? You look a little pale.
I broke my hand.
I do have a little something we could drink.
Amos is like up.
Not much, but take the edge off the cold.
No, thank you.
Ooh.
We should get going.
There's a guy that's fenced off a couple acres, and he's offering to shoot anyone who comes too close.
Why?
One of these ended times, fellas. Probably can't
Prepper.
believe how lucky he is all this happened.
That dude was super friendly, and I bet he's sad that he does not have people to hang out with anymore.
That he's a murderer.
The thing about civilization is it keeps you civil. Get rid of one, you can't count on the other. I grew up like this. Everyone else is playing catch up.
Ooh.
People are tribal.
There's tribe.
The more
Hey.
settled things are, the bigger the tribes can be. Right now, you and I are a tribe of two.
Better than
Told you.
one.
Nice guess.
Multiple contacts, separate headings. They're jamming our comms.
Uh-oh.
It's the Navy, the Free Navy.
One
Right?
MCRN light
No.
cruiser. Two heavy frigate.
Yeah, it is.
We've been ambushed.
More incoming. 2. No, 3
Yeah.
Delta ships jailing also. ERN warships. How could Marco have this?
Where'd he get all this money from?
Well, if he was pirating and all of that other stuff, and he was playing smart in the long game, anything's possible.
20 years of waiting, dude. 20 years.
Buys you heavy frigates?
Maybe he got some money from Ilum.
Give me your weapon. Your temper precedes you.
That one is with Black Sky.
I think she has golden bow.
Tributes. They come here in exchange for Naro Sunder ships.
Kind of like hostages, technically.
No, like she said, it's more tributes. Like they're like, hey, here's a good mercenary soldier.
And those are the factions that voted to not space him.
Correct.
Shit.
Mill throne? For war you started.
For war I won.
Is it over? I must have missed the inner's offer of surrender.
I love her, dude.
It's so spicy.
I knew there was a reason I liked you.
What about food? Earth is the only source for live soil and complex biologicals. Belt allowed, I still need to eat.
And no Ganymede.
That was a great question.
Which deserves serious answers.
There will be thin years at first, but within a decade, the build will have the agricultural production levels of Earth. And surpass it.
Ooh.
So he's revealing this isn't a short-term plan.
Yeah, he's not just like a crazy person.
The only reason we need protection is because of you. You have committed the entire belt to war with the Inners and made peace impossible.
We were already at war. Couldn't see it because they were killing us slow.
Ooh.
That was good, man. He's good.
He's turning her people against him. Her. A whole different universe they're in right now, these two.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not disrespecting your property, sir. Just want to talk trade. I got a water recycler. I just need something to hunt food on my way up north.
Is this gonna be a fully naked Amos, or
we're gonna get like a butt shot?
No, it's gonna have wet socks. Socks.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, wet socks is hypothermia. You lose your feet.
I keep stepping closer, so I'm wondering what's gonna happen here.
Now, unless you think I got a pistol up my ass, we both can agree I'm unarmed.
Don't need you.
I love it.
Bro.
Oh. Holy shit, Clarissa.
The sun.
I don't think the sun's real. Otherwise, he would have shot, right?
She stepped up.
She did, but that definitely fucked her up bad using it.
Yeah, but now they have a house.
Why did it fuck her up though? They're blockers? Fake? You don't need to hunt for food anymore, right? Kind of fucked up. He just walked.
I mean, this is like.
Are you suggesting cannibalism, Mikey? Because that's dark, dude. It's not the end of the world.
No, this is like the go-to plan. Is if you're a strong person, you just go kill a prepper and take everything they have.
He's a pretty bad prepper.
It's like actually how the apocalypse is gonna work.
That's not choice. Marco says it's a choice. And we are all acting like that's true. But it's not. He's gonna unite 100 separate factions into one nation.
Oh,
they're trading.
They were together on the Behemoth before Naomi left her to join her Inners.
And by doing so, saved every soul in the system.
I'd like to hear that story.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Make
He's
sure
gonna
you
go
tell
ask his
Naomi where
mom.
to find your mango son has become.
Is there anything you'd like me to tell your mother?
There's no need. I can tell. Good to see you.
She's so good at this.
Yeah, she is, bro.
They're gonna do.
Dude, she is so fierce.
Bro, Drummer's gonna have to fight.
Dude, she's got fucking
staring out
eyes, actually.
Philip is staring. Look at them having that moment. That's so many things unsaid, but said at the same time.
Yeah.
He's like, he's here. I don't know why he's telling me not to say no. He's like, I know he's here.
Oh, the door's opened.
Tell me about the Behemoth.
It's hard to know where to start and even harder to explain how it ended.
Oh no. He's not attacking Drummer, is he?
No, but I don't know what he's doing.
They're gonna do something.
I'm not a killer, because a killer is a monster, and monsters aren't afraid.
Huh.
Pulitzer Prize right there.
Amos isn't afraid. Just kill people.
He wasn't even afraid of Tiny.
Yeah, no, I love that he kept mocking him.
He just kept punching him in the face too while he's choking him out.
I'm afraid all the time.
Amos isn't.
The things that I did, we went out of our way to murder someone and take his stuff just because we needed it.
Yeah.
He murdered other
The
people.
kind of thing good people do.
He almost never said he was a good person.
Holden never would have approved a move like that.
He definitely needs some guidance.
Yeah.
I need to get back to my crew.
It's like,
You're right.
Just made him realize, like, I did go on it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that was a fast one, huh?
Hold on, yeah. Pause for... And hey guys, we're back with Season 5, Episode 6, Tribes discussion for The Expanse.
Dude, they're going so fast,
And
aren't they?
are. I'm going to flash the board in front of us now so you guys can see. Whoa. All right, moving into the discussion. First things first. The episode ended with some very interesting information from Drummer and Philip with their conversation. You know, it wasn't the exact end, but it was towards the end. Philip,
Drummer,
let it slip.
Big brain move.
Philip,
huge brain move.
You know, when was it Marco said? Was the exact quote like, tell Naomi this, and he said, why don't you, and he was like, oh, I could tell her. He's like, what do you mean you could tell her? And Marco kind of, when he did that, he was like, kind of like, shut up. He like nudged him, but Drummer is just way too perceptive. Like,
Drummer's been in the game of dealing with like these charismatic, secretive OPA faction leaders for basically, it seems like since she was like old enough to get into this.
It seemed like she was ready to stab Anderson Dawes the last time they interacted. And meanwhile, being like, "Oh, okay, sure."
Well, they used to be lovers too, her and Anderson. Yeah, that's why.
Well, I mean, she went from dealing with Dawes to Johnson, and now she has to deal with Marco, and it's like, I fucking know how you people work.
When she went for the meeting, she did not go to find out his plan per se, because I think, for lack of better words,
you phrased it like that for me. I just said she was gonna go there.
Oh,
they were supposed to go on the board.
She did go, but for going for the plan was exactly as stated. Belters get united, get their independence, and control the ring, the belt, and anything that's not Earth or Mars, while using Earth for resources until they can build their own agricultural production. Now, this isn't a short-term plan. He says it's a decade. And it looks like they have the chief engineer or somebody who involved with Ganymede on the plan as well.
Can I point something out from him saying that? What was Drummer's reaction to him saying that? She was like, "This is full of shit." Yeah. Was what I gleaned from. She's like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
Because like it's interesting. Like, with Ganymede being destroyed, the only place to grow food is Earth.
Well, that was a really cool thing that they threw into the episode, because
I never thought about it.
Most people don't think about that when they're like regime change, but like agriculture and like boring stuff like that is actually the most important part, and shows that you've given thought to the long-term problems you'd have to deal with,
which he immediately had an answer to.
Yeah, and he had a whole plan.
Yeah.
So he is trying to build a kingdom rather than just
cause chaos. The scientists off of Ganymede, we can presume they're a Belter as well.
All scientists. Anybody who's
no, because Prax wasn't a Belter.
Yeah, he was a Belter. That's why he was in space in that one part. Remember when everybody got space except for the Belters on the ship when they were saved?
I thought Ganymede was a Mars-Earth collaborative effort, so they sent both their scientists.
Mikey is dead money that Prax, in that situation, remember the other woman who was like, "You can come with me." And Mars. Like, that kind of sounds nice, but
he's a Belter.
They killed her.
And then the guy's like, he's like, "Belta Loda."
That's right. He did get pulled off. Yeah.
And you got to think. So even though he's
also the haircut.
He's a scientist and this and that, but you forget.
Bro, he's just styling.
May was born in gestation on Ganymede.
True. Yeah, that's
anybody not born on Earth or Mars is a Belter.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct.
So Ursa, why is she so important in this episode?
Whoa.
This is his thing.
Yeah. Watch yourself. I'm the one who's freaking out off camera trying to figure this out and about to deal with it now. There's no reason, now that I'm looking at it, why Amos's character development would have to happen on Earth. They could have wrote it some other way. So Clarissa is clearly important to whatever penultimate episode we're getting in this season. So I'm trying to figure out what is her importance, and it's it's
or I'm just gonna put out an alternative thing.
Yeah,
just to fuck up your brain even more. What if instead Clarissa just happens to be in prison on Earth, but the whole main reason they even wrote him into being on Earth was so you get a perspective of how Earth is dealing with being hit by multiple asteroids and like what's going on the planet. And they were like, "Oh yeah, Clarissa's there too. I guess you could save her."
But they could have
just saying there is any myriad of reasons.
Sure, but
and I don't know.
Sure, but the way that the writers, we've watched 5 seasons of this. I'd like to think that I have a decent idea on what the writers do.
And they could have season 2, episode 4, minute 26. They made a reference to this.
Shut up, Mikey.
I got this, Joe. Ready? What the writers are doing right now is showing us real world in-story example of the churn.
But they could have just kept Ava Sarala on Earth.
Just think about it.
And they could have did that with her by her plane having to land in the remote wilderness or whatever. But
you're
no,
not Drummer, okay?
No, I'm telling you.
Let me tell you this.
She's got to be Clarissa Mao has to be important to the story herself. It's not a fill-in episode. She's not filling a role that's conveniently there. It's specific to her.
No, I will say. So think about this. One of the episodes this season was titled "The Churn," and also,
you mentioned the churn again in this episode.
When there's a societal breakdown, which is what happened right now, when society ceases to exist in tragedies like this, the churn happens. You either rise to the bottom, or
rise to the bottom.
I was gonna let it go.
Sink to the bottom, or rise to the top. And the guy with the gun was trying to rise to the top in that situation by getting everything and giving nothing.
But his tribe only had one person.
A Chupacabra Clarissa is worth at least 7.
Yes. And so Clarissa activated her mod, which allowed her to
beat
Frenzy.
Get his gun,
straight frenzy,
and kill a guy right in front of Amos. Now they have the whole discussion where she says, "Monster." She's like, "I'm not a monster. I'm a murderer because monsters don't, fear. And I'm afraid."
Amos also didn't say anything.
But Amos was sitting there.
Yeah, because Amos was like, "Oh fuck."
He's like, "I'm a monster. I know it. You don't have to tell me." He knows that he's a monster.
And I think that was a weird moment because whatever connection he had to Clarissa, I feel like faded a little bit right there because they're not the same. So, even though he thought so.
Fair.
I'm gonna officially cross off my mole on Drummer's ship theory because they had.
Now there is.
Well, it's not a mole. It's
with the tribute.
The mole would be undercover. This is actually this is right in front of our eyes. So the person on Drummer's ship, the mole, I thought one of her family members, crew members, whatever, because they're family, not a crew, is not that. It's literally they're just individuals who believed, that maybe this is the time for us to rise up, this and that, inspired by Marco's words and his actions, just like any other Belter would be. Whereas Drummer, being the person who was the representative for Fred, as well as knows Naomi, has a bit more background experience with who Marco Naros as a person is, which allows her to see through some of his charismatic words.
Yeah, I mean, she was just pretty much calling bullshit.
In D&D, it's like in D&D terms, Marco rolled he rolled for what's it called? Rolled for
charisma,
persuasion, performance,
persuasion. Marco rolled for persuasion, and he beat the stat check. But Drummer has the item that lets her, just knowledge that lets her see through it.
A higher insight level.
Well, she basically has pre-existing knowledge of, like I said, who he is and what he does, as well as what he does to people around him. So she knows, don't believe his lies.
Sure. And on top of that,
killed the people she loves too.
Do you think when they were there having that conversation, despite her checking all of his bullshit pretty much, it seemed like she was on board with signing up, even if it was their only option.
Well, it was to save them,
right? But then what has probably changed her.
When she found out that Marco, I don't think she meant to find out that.
No.
What was the exact line of quote that they have? It was something along the lines of, they were talking about Naomi has saved the galaxy, by doing things in the past. And we discussed briefly, we were like, of course Marco didn't tell Philip that his mom was out, doing stuff like that, as well as giving the belt the proto molecule. He probably doesn't know that too. And going to be the first Belter on, not the first Belter, but all this other stuff. But instead, she's like, ask your mom someday. And he's like, I think I might. And he's like, what does that mean?
Well, that's another thing.
No. She asked Philip, is there anything you want me to tell your mother? And he was like, I don't need to.
Well, hold on. That was, you can kind of,
that's the correct
I'm speculating. But the way that it was brought up is that Marco told Drummer that, tell Naomi whatever when I see her, which Drummer probably was like, why are you mentioning Naomi? Because as of that,
knows she's friends with
sure, but Drummer didn't know Naomi went out looking for him, right?
No.
So then that's why when she asked, she was like, why are you mentioning that out of the blue? And then she made sure to be like, and would you like me? And then when when Drummer was talking about Naomi like being so great, Philip was intrigued, and she's like, what's going on here? And then she was like, do you have anything? And he's like, I could just. And then Drummer's like,
you're right. Yeah. Marco ruined it for himself because he was trying to persuade Drummer or like make sure she had no idea. Right, and be like, I have no idea she's on the ship.
Instead, she peeked it because people, even when you're doing like subtle jabs and stuff like that, you only bring up what's like relevant.
Now why
would Naomi be relevant?
We also didn't know, Marco didn't know that Holden didn't tell Drummer, or maybe Holden didn't relay the message. We know because he knows that a message was sent to Holden specifically. So he probably didn't know that. Naomi was, the connection between Naomi, Drummer, and Holden. Fact is, like, nobody.
I think I know what you're saying.
Fred Johnson died, but
I'm not.
No, Fred Johnson died, and Naomi.
Marco's aware that Holden's aware that Naomi's on the ship, but he didn't know if Holden told Drummer that.
Yeah.
So I think that he might have tested her by saying that. But by doing so, he gave himself away because Drummer wasn't in communication with Holden. Yeah. Because Holden would have no real reason to tell Drummer because why would he?
Yeah, the only, especially because he doesn't talk to Drummer and Drummer doesn't like Holden.
She does not like him.
And the only reason Drummer would talk to Holden is because Fred Johnson died, and they talk about that.
If anything, I would say now there's a decent chance one of those two people reaches out to the other.
Yeah.
Well, now
I think, bro, what's up?
I think right now the biggest chance is Drummer will reach out to Holden.
Yes.
Because Holden,
like Marco's got your girl.
Holden already has his plan and his mission and what's going on.
Who is now riding shotgun with Drummer?
The
crazy, fiercely loyal person.
Yes, but Drummer also has 3 ships.
Yeah, but
she's gonna be with Drummer.
Not going on Drummer's ship.
No, I'm saying she can tell somebody else to send the message if she wants to in her family.
Sure.
You think that girl's not going to have those comms tapped between the fleet?
I don't know. She would have access to ships like that.
No, let's be real here. Drummer and her are going to have an absolute brawl at some point.
You have to remember the reason Marco had her go with them is because she is his voice on the ship, right? Like, how are they going to know what to do? She's the one making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Liaisons.
Yes.
So my theory I've added actually based on the board. I forgot to bring it up. So we know this. Avasarala met the new Secretary General this episode. Was that episode? Or this
I think so.
I think so, yeah. This episode went so fast.
So we learned this episode about the new Secretary General. He was just Secretary of Transportation and,
And he specializes in drone avionics.
Maybe that'll come back.
He's like, I was not supposed to be in this position.
The biggest thing is he doesn't know what to do. She's been, first off, Secretary General, as well as the assistant to this, the, Deputy Secretary General. I don't remember what specific role she had. But she was basically the person, the third in charge, as well as the first in charge before in her life. So it makes sense that the new one would come to her, especially when most of the cabinet and everything else is gone. There's no support system to lean on except for somebody who knows what's going on and who was right about attack.
And who stopped it from being even worse.
Yes.
Because think about it this way. If Avasarala had not acted so quickly and fiercely, there would have
at least 3 more.
At least 3 more.
Sorry, 3 more hits, yes. But as a result, we have this,
and literally like a minute difference. Yeah. Like an actual minute difference. And
But, this bumbling, for lack of better words, because he's not even been off the planet before, because he falls, guys asking her for help and, saying, I will, I need your guidance and whatnot. And so now she has a new mouthpiece to speak through if needed. And while she does her underground, things for the best, puts Earth first while not being the public face of putting Earth first.
But he's not a complete bumbling it.
No.
No, he didn't make it. He just came in very humble.
But yes.
What's the difference?
But that's the thing is that, like, I think he is going to, I think he can't compete against Avasarala. So Avasarala is going to be pulling his strings. Yeah. But I mean, the dude's smart enough to be like, I know nothing. I am unqualified to be here. Let me go ask the most qualified person to join me in hell.
Now, so like, I'm say is I think there's going to be a belt civil war going on.
I don't think so.
In the way there's going to be a split in the factions. Maybe one is going to be Drummer's faction, and the other is going to be versus Marco's faction. Because there may be belters who feel like some of Drummer's crew / family felt, where this just puts a target on every belter. Now we can't do what we want because everybody's going to think we're a pirate and bad guys no matter what. So, sometimes you get radicalized one way because, you're like, we have to because we have to band together because no matter what's going to be bad. But sometimes people of, the same, group like that get sent the other way because they're like, well, you just made it worse for all of us for no reason. Things were getting better for us. We were finally getting respect, this and that. We were able to do what we want. We were able to patrol our own lanes, but now you just put a target on every single belter's head.
You're right. And the important thing is, like Drummer noticed, both Black Sky and Golden Bow, which we have heard so many times before.
Well, Black Sky was the
both seem to have thrown their support behind him. However, you did not see anyone with the with Anderson Dawes' faction, which had originally been headed by Ashford.
Because we still have technically Tycho.
So we don't know what's going on with that.
Tycho and Sirius Station are technically on. Anderson Dawes may not be fully, but if he has a drummer or something to rally behind, maybe he will. Regardless, I think this is where
he doesn't though.
What?
He doesn't have a drummer because his drummer was the Ghost Blade, the Ghost Knife.
I'm thinking if drummer takes up Tycho Station, and he has drummer to rely on because I think drummer will be the next to become Tycho leader. And after things settle,
I mean, she kind of gave up her shot at that.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing.
I don't mean anything. Yeah, she make.
I think it's just a pointer again.
Now, season 5, episode 6. Your only prediction so far is that Alex sacrifices himself. Do you have a feeling that?
Yeah, that's my only prediction.
Do you have a feeling that anybody on the crew?
Can I get a qualifier to that sentence?
Yeah. What?
You said my only prediction. I think I've written a lot more.
No. Yeah. So the prediction is Alex sacrifices himself. Who knows for what reason? But do you think anybody else on the crew, part of the main story, not just the crew, but characters that are important to the story, are going to die? Not Marco or any of those ones. Characters that have been in multiple seasons.
The main 4.
Like even Drummer or Alva Sarala.
I mean, Fred Johnson died.
Exactly. So Fred Johnson
died. He's been in the show a long time.
Yeah. Fred Johnson's been a 5-season character.
Yeah.
And he is dead. Now, do you think we're going to lose anybody else? Do you think Anderson Dawes is going to get off-screened while he's doing his other?
Anderson Dawes is not going to get off-screened. I think he's just going to remain an off-screen character.
Okay.
I think Amos is going to live through it all.
You think Amos is going to live?
I think James Holden's going to live through it all. I think Naomi's going to live through it all, but if anyone's going to sacrifice themselves for the greater good and get knocked off from the main 4, it's probably going to be her or Alex. Just because they're both her character arc's coming to a completion, right? So like her backstory revolves around being part of Marco's crew and the journey, like the regret she has for not being there for her son or being able to get him away. She's now been reunited, and it seems like she's finally starting to build the relationship she wanted with Philip. So it seems like her character arc is coming to a completion. Alex he's saying a similar story with where he goes back to Mars. He's supposed to be a happy, visit, and he's found that everything that he's known and fought for his whole life is kind of fallen apart.
It's making him angry,
and he's becoming lost. And when you become lost after fulfilling important life goals, the way you finish your arc is, if the show's not ending, is you sacrifice yourself.
No. We also didn't see anything from him or Bobbie.
Yeah.
They're still just...
No, we did the grenade.
Yeah.
The grenade.
Oh, yes. Duh, right.
Bobbie was
it all blurs together.
Bobbie was the badass with the powers.
Yeah, no, yes, you're right. That was an awesome scene.
And Alex threw a grenade on the engine, which blew up the engine into the...
Which I don't understand how that chain reaction works, but I'm not going to question it.
It's fusion.
They set it up so
I know.
when they
it blew up, but I don't get how it blew up around the side to blow up the missile.
Don't worry about it.
That's why I'm saying whatever.
Don't worry. That was a really good scene, too, especially because they were trying to pry the door open, and as soon as it gets slightly open, Drummer's just like... Brrr.
In the face. She shot that dude multiple times in the face.
I love it. I love how she has power armor. She's not even a Martian Marine anymore, and she just has power armor of her own.
Yeah.
Alva Sarala was like, you saved me once with this power armor. I think you need it for,
I actually think it's really funny because
she paid for it.
She embodies that suit so well because when she's in it, she really gives straight zero.
I love her so much.
Just casually looked at the guy who was shooting.
Bro, she turns into the Terminator.
Yeah,
she's straight up a Terminator.
My theory, so Alex dying, I don't know if I could see him dying as a character because I feel like being the driver of the ship is, pilot, is very important. I don't think Amos is going to die this season.
I don't think Amos is dying.
And Joe hasn't seen next season fully. I think he's on episode 3. He's and he hasn't watched past that's where he stopped with his brother, I think. So,
Correct.
What I'm gonna assume is, I think in season 6 we lose the big dog.
Amos?
I think we lose Amos in season.
No, Amos is the Wanderer.
I think Amos. Well, I think Amos.
No,
will have a redemption.
Amos will. Amos, if anyone,
I've kind of thought that too.
'Cause he's been down. We have all these moments where he gets shot. He gets injured.
Amos has to wander.
Yeah, right now, because I haven't seen. Okay,
let me get the reason.
All right,
so we have Amos has been on this personal quest since the episode, the first episode and all that. And the second episode, we start learning about him. He's been an abused child. He protects the weak. All this stuff where he does only things for people who can't do things for themselves. And in this situation, Clarissa can't do stuff for herself because she's injured, as well as she's been the drugged by the thing that reduces what's going on. So for the most part, she's kind of handicapped, lost in her ways, just like Anna was lost and weak when she was on the ship. So I think it's just a character thing.
I hear you.
He's being portrayed as a monster who does what he has to protect the ones he loved.
Yeah,
and he's emotionless, but in the sense that
But why does that mean his ultimate sacrifice is dying?
Because he
deserves like a happy ending.
He does, but
no,
I think
his character archetype is like the eternally suffering.
I can't believe neither James Holden is 100% going to die at the end of this.
And then be resurrected.
Impossible. He doesn't.
I can
die.
see that.
It is going to come down to he sacrifices himself and saves the universe.
I'm only talking about season 5, okay?
I'm talking about the entire show.
I wanted to just make a broad prediction.
Yeah, no, my broad.
I can agree
if
with
I
that.
had to guess one character is going to die, 100%. James Holden, I don't want to see him die, but I would be shocked if he didn't die.
It won't be till like the last 3 episodes.
Like it's just like
that's what I'm saying. If anyone's gonna if anyone's gonna make it through the end of the series, it's gonna be Amos.
I that's what
you think he's gonna go planet to planet in the frontier role?
Amos is the eternal wanderer archetype.
Plus, you've literally seen Amos escape on the verge of death more than once now.
I know, but how many times can you get lucky is the thing too, because this TV show,
he's invincible.
I think he just portrayed with the life he's had and what's going on. He's gonna have a very good.
Mikey, what do you mean? The obvious ending to the show is Amos and Avasarala finally get married.
So we talk
about why on a space ride.
So we talk about how there's these creatures, or what we call the proto killers. The creatures that kill,
which hasn't been relevant yet.
I do. I call them that. But I call them that. But I think Amos, he's not going to die to humans. I think he's going to sacrifice himself for the good of humanity.
Nothing has given me that indication.
But James Holden is the one.
So that's my 10% chance happening.
So okay. That's the 10. You know what? Only way I agree with you if Amos dies is if the entire crew dies. In a shared sacrifice.
I can see that.
What Mikey's saying is that clearly it's going to be like the last season of Game of Thrones, and Amos is going to stab the Night King instead of the person who's supposed to the entire show.
Holden sacrifices himself, and Amos becomes the new investigator.
Going back to
so it's either
you ever walk in heels before?
I really think it's James Holden, and if for any reason it's someone, it's either Holden or the entire crew. I don't see.
I can agree with it.
I don't see it being
all of them.
No. I'm not saying one person. I'm saying Holden or all. I'm not saying any or all. I'm saying only Holden.
I'm saying one of them will die or all of them will die.
No, you see, what's actually going to happen is. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm done being silly.
Listen,
but yeah, no, I think
we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for joining us through this discussion. Sometimes towards the end we have a little off the rails discussion.
Well, after last episode we were so heated, we got to be funny this one.
We appreciate everyone who joined us. Let us know you're part of our theories or discussion.
He's gonna cut that. Relax.
What, the discussion, the argument?
No.
Why would he do that?
How did he do that? That video will be out already.
The best reaction of that.
God.
But thank you guys really for joining us through the Expanse. We do appreciate it. Let us know if we can do anything to make it better for you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time with the 732 Review Crew, and I'm Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
Bye.